Hello and welcome to the Miss Rolling In podcast. As usual, my name is Jake States, and as usual, I'm joined by JJ Armstrong. JJ, how the devil are you?
I'm great, thank you, Jacob. I hope you're okay. It looks like you got whiplash at that intro. You threw your neck back a lot. So I hope you're okay.
Enthusiasm, mate.
The deadline window or transfer window has closed. It's deadline day. So we now know where we stand, or do we? Because there's still a few transfers rumoured, not to be confirmed yet, as of 9:30 on the transfer deadline day. So I'm feeling good, I think, even after an abysmal performance against West Ham. How are you doing?
Oh, very well, mate. I'm interested to see. We'll talk about done deals and rumours.
We've got a lot to talk about today. So for those that want to know what they're tuning in for today, we've got a discussion about the West Ham game, which was abysmal. We've got a discussion about the transfer window in general, given that it is deadline day. A summary of who's gone, who's in, and what our squad now looks like, and the depth we may have. And a discussion about our manager, NUNO, who's maybe made a rod for his own back and made things a lot more difficult than needed to be, and who could potentially replace him. So there's a lot to talk about, Jacob. You set us off. Where do you want to start?
I'll start with West Ham. Mate. Let's talk about. The decision to keep the same 11. Completely agree with. Obviously, great performance against Brentford. A very solid performance against Palace, where we probably should have won. 2 great Hutchinson chances at the end. I don't disagree at all with keeping the same 11. If I was being harsh and saying any kind of changes, I may have gone one of the wingers for a different winger and maybe Douglas Luiz for Sangare, but I think that would have been very harsh. So all in all, I was perfectly fine with the same starting 11, JJ.
And I completely agree. I think any decision otherwise is taken in hindsight. But I can only talk about how I felt before the game. And before the game, I thought it would be harsh to get rid of anybody or change anybody. So I was very happy with the starting 11 before we kicked off. And West Ham, as we know, have struggled. And there's a whole Lucas Paquetá talks that I didn't think he would start, but he surprisingly did.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a fantastic opportunity, given how we played against Brentford, given how I think we were adequate against Crystal Palace, just to go against a team that are struggling and really show who we are this season and just put them to the sword.
Yeah. Well, I think in the first half, I think the first half was fine, in my opinion. I thought we were pretty comfortable on the ball. They clearly came. They'd clearly had a rocket ball them to say, let's not lose this game. It was more important for them to come out with a draw than it was for anything else. I was quietly confident going into halftime, thinking if we come out, raise the tempo a little bit, maybe make a couple of early-ish changes, I could only see a Forest win. If I'm being honest. Again, I think it's a big change, very similar to the Crystal Palace before Crystal Palace scored. I thought we were quite comfortable on the ball. I thought we were trying different things. I thought the runs from Wood and Odoi were really, really positive. Elliot Anderson getting on the ball a lot, which is great to see. I thought Morgan Gibbs-white, pardon me, was probably the only downside. I thought he had a really rough first half. He was trying lots of things that really didn't work at all. But that's also what he's in the team to do, though, right? If he does, I can't remember any numbers or anything, but let's say he makes 10 mistakes from silly little things. One of those results in something awesome. You will forget the other 9, right? That's what he's in the team to do. That's why he's number 10. I just think, as in with the Crystal Palace game, he tries them maybe too often, even for number 10, and in silly places.
Yeah, I'll start with the Gibbs-White thing. I think you're extremely right, because against Brentford in the first game, everything came off for him, and we were all sat there going, this is why he's the player we need. How great is this? So when it comes off, it does look fantastic. This is a player that we've wanted to keep, but when it doesn't come off, as the last two games haven't. Crystal Palace and, I mean, the Crystal Palace one resulted in a goal because he did it in the wrong area. And this last game against West Ham, nothing seems to come off. He was the weak link of the entire squad in the first half. I think overall over the 90 minutes, I can't believe he played 90 minutes, but we'll get onto that. But in the first half in particular, he was the one standout player that I think was really poor to me and didn't help us. He hindered us, which is a shame. And if it comes off, it's great, but when it doesn't, it particularly looks bad. But way up, you want someone like that to try those things. So it's a really precarious and difficult position to be on. You know, it's a fine balance of someone that you really need and want to try these things, because that moment of magic changes everything, to when it doesn't come off, it looks horrific. But for whatever reason in this game, it just did look horrific and he wasn't effective. To the first half in general, I thought we did look comfortable, as you've said, but I think we looked too comfortable. I think we looked almost arrogant in possession. I think we were a bit slow. I've watched Arsenal play at Forest, been really effective and not try things, not shoot, not get shot on target, and it felt overcoached. And I've criticised Arsenal for being overcoached, where they're not willing to try things, get things into the box, get a shot on target, whatever it is. And I'm not comparing this to Arsenal at all, because we're so far away from that. But it just felt like we had a bit of a reluctance or a hesitance to actually try things. And I think we've got the exciting squad, and also the same squad. It's the same squad that did exciting things last season, that we should be trying these things. But for whatever reason, in the first half, it just didn't happen. I think the referee didn't help. I think the referee made the game extremely stop-start. I think anytime West Ham had any contact, they threw themselves to the floor, which they knew what they were doing away from home. And the referee gave it every single time. And I do not think that helped whatsoever. But that's an excuse, I think. I think there was no real intent in that first half. I think the only positive I could tell you from that first half, personally, and I think you might disagree, because when I said it after the game, you weren't too sure, but I think Anderson and Sangare, for me, were the two real positives in that first half, because I felt like they won everything. But I've seen a few people online and yourself say that Sangare wasn't it for them.
I completely agree with Anderson.
Oh, I mean, fuck me. Sorry, didn't mean to swear there. But Anderson, I mean, in that first half in particular, he stood out as a player that won every single ball. And I don't know, he's always been brilliant, and he's been very brilliant as of late. But that England call-up, I don't know what's happened, but that first half in particular, he looked even better than usual. He won absolutely everything. Yeah,
he looked a real throwback centre midfielder. That he's not an attacking midfielder, he's not a defensive midfielder. He's a central midfielder that will do both. I don't think Sangare is bad. I was disagreeing with your comment that you said he was the best player on the pitch, or there or thereabouts. And
we'll talk about it, but until around the 85th minute, I think he really was. Well, actually, I don't, because Anderson was. But I think him and Anderson stood out to me, and I've seen so many people say Sangare had such a bad game, and I can't see that he did up until the 85th minute.
I can't say he had such a bad game, but I can't say that I don't think he was any more than a 6 out of 10.
Interesting. I mean, I don't think he should have been on the pitch when he became less than a 7 or 8 out of 10 for me, because he should have been taken off. We should have made subs a lot later on, which let's move into now. Let's talk about the second half. You can give me your thoughts, but I don't think he should have been on the pitch for that anyway. But I think from what I saw, him and Anderson are the midfield two for me going forward, because I think him and Anderson break up play beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the second half, I was expecting us to turn the tempo up a little bit, make some early changes if required, 55, 60 minutes. We made one around 60 minutes with McAtee coming on for N'Doye. I thought N'Doye, actually, in the first half, when they were pumping that ball over the top for the runs in behind, was actually quite threatening. I'd like to see him a bit stronger sometimes, but I thought that ball over the top was always a threat. Where he pulls into being the second striker and Gibbs-White goes out wide. Anderson ball over the top, Sangari Murillo ball over the top. So I was a bit. I probably wouldn't have taken Odoi off. I thought Callum Hudson-Odoi looked really limited against Kyle Walker-Peters. I thought he really looked like a one-trick pony at the cut inside. And I thought that doubling up with Nico Williams, who also can only do the same thing, made us struggle probably on the left. That's probably my weak point in the first half. They struggled quite a bit on the left-hand side. And Kyle Walker-Peters is actually quite a good fullback as well. But yeah, in the second half, I was expecting a bit more impetus, a bit more pace. Again, I thought McAtee initially was quite good when he came on. And then it just kind of fell off the cliff. I don't know if it was because if you could see on the TV, but there was like horrific rainfall, like torrential rainfall for about 10 minutes. And that seems to be the turning point for me where we just turned off and never turned back on.
The rain made a huge impact, and they did actually reference that on the TV because I think it was Seb Hutchinson that was commenting had said that first half from the eye, I think he said was actually quite interesting, and then the stats got thrown up, and he said, "Well, obviously that doesn't look like it, but it is still quite an interesting game." Because I mean, it took Forest until the second half to even get a shot on target. But once the rain started, it completely changed the narrative of the game because there were a few loose balls, there were a few heavy touches, the ball was zipping a bit more. It did make a big difference. And they kept saying, I don't know what it is about the rain, but it's really changed this game.
Yeah.
I think talking about subs overall, it's an interesting topic to talk about, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it. But I think McAtee was the right substitution to make at the time, but I think it was for Gibbs-White. I think Gibbs-White should have been probably taken off at half-time. I think I know he's our talisman and our main player, and he's capable of that moment of magic. But after his performance against Palace and the way he performed in that first half, I think we shouldn't be scared to make that change if we need to. And I think McAtee in that 10, for some fresh ideas, maybe would have made a difference because I think Odoi was better on the left. I think taking Odoi off completely was the wrong decision. I think Hudson-Odoi, it was a bit of a one-trick pony this game, and when it works, it's brilliant. But in this game, he was ineffective. So initially, I would have put McAtee on in the 10, not a right wing, because I don't think that's his strength at all. I know he's played there, but I don't think that's the strongest position to play him. I would have kept Odoi on the left because he seems quite effective from there. And I think going forward, dependent on if we get supposed wingers in, which we'll talk about later as well, I think Odoi would be challenging for the left starting position as opposed to the right, because I just think he's stronger there. And then I'd have put Hudson-Odoi over to the right to see what would have happened with the intent possibly to change him for another new signing in Hutchinson early doors if it doesn't work. So that's what I personally would have done. I'm no tactical genius, but I just think we got that initial substitution wrong. I don't think it was the right thing to do, and I think the second half in general, I think you talk about impetus, you talk about intent, and I don't think there was much there at all. And to me, it screamed out for substitutions to be made earlier, and we didn't. So if you could tell me who else came on and at what time, we can discuss that.
Well, I know, so McAtee for Odoi was the first substitution, then it was Igor Jesus for Chris Wood on 73, and then the last two were Callum Wendo for Sangari and Hutchinson for Hudson-Odoi. At that point, it was already 2-0 down. I believe
that was that in the 89th minute or something silly like that. Yeah, way too late.
I didn't really get Jesus for Wood.
Nope.
I don't think Wood had done anything wrong. He just didn't get any service whatsoever. He's relentless now. He chases the ball down as well. I mean, I may have gone Jesus up top as well, if I'm being honest, just to mix it up. But I don't know. It's the classic NUNO issue of if we go 1-0 down, we're never going to win.
That's what you said the other week when we did a podcast where I said once plan A was rumbled, we had no plan B, and you said the plan A was we go 1-0 down and we can't win.
Yeah.
And it still feels like the case. And I think for me personally, I think what Wood does off the board is really important, and I don't think you can criticise him for this performance all you want, but Wood needs service, and he wasn't getting the service. So you need to change the service players to get it into him, as opposed to the person not get the service, in my opinion. I'd have liked to have seen Wood and Calimundo together, better too. I'd have loved to have seen Gibbs-white come off for McAtee. I'd love to have seen Odoi stay on with Hutchinson on the right, and I'd loved to have seen, even though I thought he was really good with Anderson, Louise for Sangare. I think that maybe would have given us a platform to try something different with more effective players on the pitch. And even if that isn't the case, I think you can still make like-for-like replacements given the depth that we've got early. Yeah. And a lot earlier than the 89th minute, once we might have already been 2-0 down at this point. But Hutchinson and whoever the other one that came up, Calimundo, they're not going to do anything in
it's
that.
Not fair on them.
The game's gone. The game's gone, and we're set up to lose that game. The game has gone in many ways, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels a bit like we need to. I don't know if it was a protest in his disagreements with who we've got in or what, but we have to utilise this strength and depth, and I do not think he did that one bit, and it felt like self-sabotage to me, and it might not be, and it definitely might not be, and I might be reading too much into it, but you can only do that given the little sly, weird narratives he's putting in the media at the minute, and the things that you're reading on The Athletic about his disagreement with Edu and the agent, which Jacob's going to say his name.
Keir Travchim.
Thank you. You can only read into it in that regard, and I think the moment you start doing that, writing's on the wall. And it might not be the case, but I think even the players might read into it in that way because it just doesn't make any sense. And I think the game management was really poor. I think we made a very, very, very bad West Ham side look brilliant.
Yeah.
We made Callum Wilson look like bloody Ronaldo. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It was terrible. No. It was just an awful, awful performance. Gibbs-white got a full game, which to me makes no sense at all because he was the worst player on the pitch, which I don't think I'd ever say. So, I mean, was he to you? Do you think he was? You laugh at that, but I think he was.
Yeah, I think he was the worst player on the pitch, 100%.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I think for their goals as well, I think the Jared Bow one, I think the keeper should be saving it. It's a lucky ball that's dribbled through to Bowen and a nice strike, but it's not in the corner. It's not particularly fast. I thought at the time Sels should save it. I've watched replays. I think he should have got a hand to it. The penalty.
He also, to counter-argue that, he made some very important saves that could have made that scoreline a lot worse.
Yeah, he did his job. Yeah.
Your little vendetta against Selby.
It's not a vendetta, mate. It's just all right. I'll say
he did his job. He did his job, but I think he did his job better than many a keeper we've had in the past.
That's not a comparable thing, mate.
It's not.
That's not Garrett's, is it?
It's not. But also the penalty.
There was. I've seen a foul in the build-up. There's a foul in the build-up. They should have come back.
Way too long before.
No.
It was a penalty.
We play the. There's the foul. The ball goes out wide. They win it back, and it goes in the back, and he scores past him. It should have been brought back. That was. It's Stonewall penalty, by the way. It's Stonewall penalty, but the fact that it didn't get brought back is I just don't understand the point of VAR.
I don't think it was that much of a foul, and also it was a Stonewall penalty. I also think it was way too late before. So. Sangare, is that now 2 penalties he's given away?
What was the one?
Did not give a penalty away against
Brentford. I can't blame you for the first one.
But I mean, that is 2 penalties now. Maybe he needs to stop being a little bit sloppy, and maybe he needs to be taken off a little early because he is a bit loose in his tackles and he does give away a lot of fouls, and that's just the type of player he is because he's
your MVP,
long legs. I think he had a great game up until that point. I really do. But I don't think he should have been on the pitch at that point anyway. I think Luis should have been.
I will defend him a little bit on the penalty. It was a Stonewall penalty, but, Somerville did buy it, didn't he?
Oh, completely brought it. Yeah. But you'd be naive to think that a player in this day and age would do anything different.
Yeah.
If a Forest player does that, then everyone's saying Stonewall. But he did buy it. He definitely bought it.
We did have a penalty shot in the first half, didn't we? I was sitting Upper Bridgeford.
Yes.
In the corner, and that looked Stonewall to me. I couldn't believe the referee didn't give it.
Not even close.
Yourself, who's up north, and somebody else is on the other side of the ground. And to be completely and utterly told that it was won the ball and never a foul.
Completely won the ball. Yeah.
Which was interesting because then there was another one where somebody pulled someone back by the shirt, and you guys were like, "Never a foul," and I was like, "No." It basically took his shirt off him.
Yeah. It's interesting, the different opinions, and also it showcases that nobody actually knows the rules anymore.
Yeah,
because I also think it's already been a bit muddled by the fact in that Fulham game when the player did the turn and put his foot where the only place he could put in his natural position and stood on the Chelsea player's foot, and that wasn't given. That no one really knows anymore what is and isn't a foul. So it's open to interpretation, and it's not clear, it's not obvious. But either way, give me a very, very quick summary as we move on from the West Ham performance. Give me a quick summary of what you thought. Keep it below 20 words. Go.
First half still wasn't bad. Surprising second half. Rain, go away. I'm not counting. Lucky West Ham, I think.
I think you've got one word left, so well done.
Okay.
I think lucky West Ham.
Just one more thing. I don't think West Ham were that much better than us by any stretch of the imagination. I think 0-0 would have been a fair result.
We capitulated. And 3-0 is extremely flattering. But that's more than 20 words. So let's move on, Jacob. What's our next talking point?
One of the most exciting things about football at the moment, isn't it? It's transfers. Sorry, just before we go into this, I think this might be, and this is in general, not just for Forest, the best transfer window of all time.
Of all time?
What hasn't happened? Happened?
I think it's been the best one in a long time.
Yeah. Big signings, big moves, everything's happened. We've had drama, we've had things like gibbs-white, we get the here we go, and it not happen.
Are we talking explicitly Forest or just in general?
No, what about in general? With the old Isak thing, that's finally happened.
Yeah.
It's looking like Liverpool held out on making the offer until the last day of the transfer window, so Newcastle couldn't strengthen. I was listening to something a financial football expert was saying that 125 million basically under PSR terms would have let Newcastle go out and do whatever they want. Well, which obviously is not good for Liverpool, is it? Or anyone.
But then also you talk about Wissa. I mean, way too overpriced. And it's a player that's protested and not playing, and Newcastle getting him. And then you talk about Gueye that's supposed to be going to Liverpool, and then all of a sudden collapsing. I think it is an exciting transfer window. I really do think. I think there's the fact that it's 10 o'clock or nearly 10 o'clock and the window closed 3 hours ago. And there's still more twists and turns to come. I mean, Isak isn't confirmed yet. We don't know what's happening with Gueye.
I think
Bakwa's not been confirmed. There's loads coming on. Oh, is Isak been confirmed?
Yeah, in the last, I think it's while we've been on. Yeah, okay. 3 minutes ago.
Let's just have a look.
Villa have got Sancho and Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott's nearly done. Spurs, Randall Kolo Muani. And Xavi Simons.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Randall Colomwani on loan, Xavi Simons permanent, Ahmed Kudus. I think they lost out on a lot, but at the end of it, Spurs may have got pretty good transfer window. So Spurs, it's been
Spurs have done very well, I think, and I think Simons, whatever you call him, in particular, is a great signing for them. I mean, Newcastle looked like they were struggling, but they've got Voltemade. I don't know how you say his name. How do you say his name?
I would presume it's Voltemade. But
Voltemade. I think they're better off getting rid of Isak if he's not going to play and they get that much money. It's just a shame that it's happened so late and they can't make it. So
that's why I don't get about the Gahey deal. He's gone. His contract's up. This isn't the case. He's not been a nightmare. He's not been a problem. But you're going to get no money for him.
And that's what I said to you earlier. I don't get the transfer window. People know these people are going. Why do they wait so long to last minute and it all collapses? If the new guy is going to go, was it Igor that Palace were after? Or someone like that? Whoever it was.
Who's actually turned Palace down to go to West Ham.
Right. So, but you need to replace your player. Get it done earlier. That's what I don't get. And this backward thing, I mean, we still don't know if he's been confirmed. We'll talk about it in a second. But as we're talking right now, when you listen to this, it will be the day after. So could very well be a Forest player. But as of right now, we don't know. There's a few unknowns at the minute, and I just think he's been a link for so long. Get it done earlier. That's the beauty of deadline day, and it's normally when you're desperate, and I don't think we needed to be desperate. So,
no.
Anyway, Jacob, take it away. Tell us about the ins and outs as it stands. There might be more, by the way, when you wake up and listen to this. There may be different ingoings and outgoings, but this is just as it stands.
I'll go through the outgoings first. So, Anthony Elanga to Newcastle, I think around 55 million. Danilo to Botafogo, around 20. Ramon Sosa to Palmeiras, no idea. Andrew Mababadeli to Strasbourg, that's around 10, I think. Matt Turner to Lyon, who's actually gone straight out on loan to New Jersey?
Yeah.
Red Bulls, that team?
Who knows?
Carlos Miguel to Palmeiras, Lewis O'Brien to Wrexham, who's actually doing really well. It's nice to see. Harry Toffolo to Charlotte FC in America, Marco Stamanic to Swansea, Dale Taylor to Blackpool, David Carmo has gone on loan to Real Oviedo, Taylor Binden has gone on loan to Sheffield United, and Emmanuel Dennis and Josh Bowler have both been released. The ins, JJ. This is where it gets interesting. Maury Hutchinson from Ipswich, sizable fee. Dan N'Doye from Bologna, sizable fee. Arnau Kalimiwendo from Rennes, sizable fee. James McAtee from Man City, sizable fee. Igor Jesus from Botafogo. Nicolo Savona from Juventus. Jer Cunha from Botafogo. John Victor from Botafogo. Douglas Luiz from Juventus. Angus Gunn on a free transfer from Norwich. Kui Biano from Botafogo. And we're waiting new confirmation on Delaney Bakwa from Strasbourg. And also from Alexander Zinchenko from Arsenal, apparently. Which is
wild.
We were discussing before we started recording our thoughts on Zinchenko. You were much happier than me.
I'm not saying
you were saying it was world ending, but I'm saying you were much happier than I was.
If it's a loan, brilliant. There's not much you can complain about. A Premier League trusted player that can play in a left back, left footed position. That's also an international. I don't think that's bad business at all.
He's a luxury for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I think there's a chance he might not play left back.
But that brings us to let's talk about our strength in depth. So we've almost got, or we do have a very strong second 11 now. So Jacob again, if you don't get a sore throat from all this talking, is going to read through each position and the depth in each for those that are listening. There's a bit of a graphic on screen to show that our first 11, as it stands, obviously it might change, and the depth or potential second 11 that we've got. So take it away, Jacob.
So what we're saying is currently the first 11, we're looking at Matt Snell's in goal. Back four of Ola Aina, Nikola Milenkovic, Murillo dos Santos, and Nico Williams. A midfield two of Elliot Anderson and Ibrahim Sangare. The forward three is Dan Ndoi, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, all behind Chris Wood. Now, if we were to look at a second 11 built from the team for the players remaining, in goal we could either have John Victor or Angus Gunn. I imagine John Victor is probably the more preferred than Angus Gunn, but we'll see, I suppose. Backup right back is Nicholas Savona. Centre backs we have Jer Cunha, Willy Bolly, and Morato, with Grubiano and potentially Alexander Zinchenko for left back, which is amazing. Central midfielders, we've got Brian Yates, Nico Dominguez, Douglas Luiz, with Delane Bakwa, James McAtee, and Amari Hutchinson for the backup for the forward three, with Arnaud Calamawendo, Igor Jesus, and still Taiwo Awoniyi as backup strikers.
And as we get rid of that graphic, Jacob, Bakwa has been confirmed for Nottingham Forest and announced. So Bakwa is in.
And
which I think...
on Zinchenko, Fabrizio Romano said it's done. As long as 45 minutes ago. So.
There's a lot going on. This is classic Forest on deadline day, but I think Bakwa is a sensational signing. I really hope we don't hear the words Traore at any point within this podcast. That was linked and rumoured earlier, but it seems like that's not the case. So I think Bakwa makes things really interesting. I'm going to put this graphic back up because personally, I think Ndoi is better on the left, and then I think that Bakwa might actually be the starter on the right. So, Jake, talk to me. What do you think about this in general, about having such a strong second 11? Sum up the transfer window so far, given the ins and outs that you've mentioned, given the fact we've got not even quite, a very strong second 11. Yeah. You said it is the best transfer window ever in general, but for Forest. And just tell me your overall thoughts.
I think he's obviously clearly invested. I don't think anyone could ever accuse Mr. Marinakis of not investing. I may have invested heavier in other places. I think backup fullbacks were a bit more of a priority than Savona and Cubano would suggest. Obviously, Zinchenko changes that a little bit. By and large, I think he's strengthened in the right places. Let's say, for example, if we started Langa rather than Ndoi, that front four didn't need changing, did it? But no. It did need potential changes off the bench. It did need to go, well, Callum Hudson-Odoi always gets injured every season, so let's have a backup for that. Chris Wood likes a couple of weeks out every now and again. Let's have some back. I don't know. We've just answered all the possible questions, in my opinion. And it's the right thing to do, with clearly looking forward to a European campaign, and clearly the boss is wanting us to go deep in it, right?
Yeah, I think it's great intent. You can't ask for much more from an owner to put his hand in his pocket and try and... we're about to... Following this, we're going to talk about the manager and the comments he's made, but I think nobody ever doubted for a second that once we knew what competition we were in, that we would invest heavily and to this degree.
Yeah.
And this is... it goes without saying for us too, because we are young, but this is the strongest Forest 11 or Forest squad I've ever seen in my time. And I never thought I'd see a Forest team this strong. And I didn't think when we came up, and the squad that we had when we came up, I didn't think I'd see a squad that was this exciting and this impressive and this had this much depth so early on. I think we had a few good windows, a few crazy windows, but we had a few good windows where there was players that came in that I thought, shit, I didn't think Forest would ever have these type of players. But now it goes way beyond that, to the fact that I'm looking at this squad and think it's an exciting squad full of real potential. There's England under-21s that are going to be England international someday. There's really successful European players. There's defenders that Real Madrid and Barcelona are looking at. It's just so exciting, and it's a team that will be well equipped to face Europe, which again I never thought I'd ever think about or say. But it's just exciting. It is the best squad I'll ever see in my lifetime. Well, not ever see. For now, it's the best squad I've seen in my lifetime, and all signs point to the way it's going, the progression we've made in such a short amount of time, and the backing we've given by the manager, that if things go right, it's such an exciting time to be a Forest supporter. And, you know, we're just fresh off the back of the Europa fixtures being released and people booking holidays abroad, and other than the management thing, which is still up in the air, which is frustrating given where we are at the minute, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I think that's probably what makes Sunday's result so disappointing. In my opinion, if we'd have come out with a win, we'd be second now.
Yeah,
best transfer window ever, one of the best starts to the Premier League season ever. You know, we've got
but also
announced. Elliot Anderson in the England squad.
Hudson-Odoi new contract. Gibbs-white staying. Murillo's still here. What? It's unbelievable, isn't it? It still is unbelievable, but like you say, that result is so much more annoying now because we'd performed how we should have done and took the 3 points. Then, God, we're in dreamland right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But
yeah. So I think I asked you last week, and I think you did say it was the best transfer window we've ever had. But if I had to ask you right now, given that it's closed, obviously Zinchenko's still unconfirmed at the minute, so we'll ignore him for now. But given the ins and outs that we've seen, which I'll put back on screen, if you had to rate this transfer window out of 10, what would you give it?
Solid 8. Solid 8.
8? Not even a 9?
I would have liked a little bit more focus on the fullbacks.
Right. And if Zinchenko comes in, does that change anything?
I don't think he's very good at fullbacks, so no.
Okay. We'll take it.
I think he's an excellent footballer. I think he'll play further forward like he does for Ukraine.
Right. Okay. Well, I think 8's about right. I think you could definitely stretch an 8.5 if you're cheeky.
Yeah.
But I mean, the strength of the squad is a place I didn't think I'd ever see Forest in, so I'm extremely happy.
Yeah. Oh, very happy.
So, moving on. This is a little feature about the managers. Now, Jacob does not know which managers I'm about to show him, but I've got a list of managers and a few graphics to show Jacob, and he's got 15 seconds to tell me whether he would take them or whether he wouldn't. I will allow special dispensation if you do need extra 15 seconds to talk about them. But I would like you to try and keep it to 15 seconds if you would.
Okay.
And if initially we find that 15 seconds is too short, we'll bump it up to 30.
Okay.
But Jacob don't know who's coming. There's a list of managers, and they range from everything of people that are linked, people that are realistic, people that we need to poach, and people that are unrealistic but are just available. So I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts on this. Like I say, Jacob knows nothing who I've got at the minute, so it should be interesting. So, Jacob, tell me, are you ready?
Let's get ready to rumble.
I'm gonna put a 15-second timer on my phone, and I'll tell you when your time is up. But we're going to start with, and the time will start once the graphic is up on screen, and after I've said the name, it gives you a few seconds to start. We're going to start with Nuno Espirito Santo. Jacob, go.
Keep him, yeah, absolutely. Amazing season last season. I still need to see a plan B for when we go 1-0 down. But yeah,
time's up. Done. Interesting. Right. That shows that 50 seconds is quite short. Maybe I'll up it to 20. I'll up it to 20.
I will make a final comment of, I think given his comments, whether it happens now or in 6 months' time, he is 1 foot out of the door already. Irrelevant of how much they patch things up.
We'll up it to 20 seconds because that was a lot quicker than I thought. Next, are you ready? Jose Mourinho, go.
Nah, dinosaur, done. Waste of our time.
Okay. 20 seconds done. Right, next one.
We want to take a step away. If we're getting a new manager in and we're saying that we want to play the Forest way, we need to take a step away from what Nuno is, rather than a step back. If that makes sense.
And I will tell you, there's a alarming amount of people online and on social media that want Jose. And
yeah,
big name. I'll give you the next one. There's an alarming amount of people that don't want this next person. Ange Postecoglou, go.
As somebody who was raised on the air quotes Forest way, I think this is the manager that would be the person most willing to do it. Do I think it's a step too far too soon, given the difference between Ange ball and Nuno ball? Very possibly. Would I like to see the absolute chaos that would ensue? Yes, as long as we don't get relegated, obviously.
Okay. You went over 20 seconds there. I'll maybe stretch it to 25.
Stop telling me off.
Next. Marco Silva, go.
It's unrealistic we're never going to get him.
Is that all you've got to say?
No, so I would like Marco Silva. I think he's a very good manager. He's done it long term now at Fulham. Great experience elsewhere. It's just never going to happen.
Right. Got to tell you about this game. I did say some are unrealistic. Yeah. Some are realistic. We're talking about whether you'd have them or not.
Of course I would have him. I think he's a good manager.
Okay. He is, whether people want to hear it or not, he is the next Forest manager. I can tell you that. Marinakis loves him and has said on so many occasions his dream is to have Marco Silva manage Nottingham Forest. It will happen. Whether it's the next one, maybe not, but it will happen. I'm telling you. And if Marinakis wants him, I think he can poach him away from Fulham because it will Fulham at the end of the day. Boring. Next, a manager that we have apparently been linked with.
Go.
Who manages Leon, Paulo Fonseca, go.
I'm not surprised because of the Leon connection. There seems to be something fishy going on there. Same with Botafogo. I don't really know much about him, if I'm being honest. I know actually he's done pretty well at Leon. Leon were pretty much down, so turn them around into a Europa League place, and fair enough. So must be pretty decent. So yeah, why not?
Okay.
Oh, good. Okay.
Next one.
Go
on. Adoni Areola.
Yes, please. Go. Thank you, please. Yes. Thank you.
Do you think we could poach him from Bournemouth?
It's very nice down south, isn't it? That'll be my
okay. You're not giving me much here.
What do you mean I'm not giving you much? I would have him. I don't think.
Bournemouth.
Are we a bigger club than Bournemouth? Of course we are. Is it a step up enough for him to warrant leaving a comfortable position? Similar to Marco Silva. Are we bigger than Fulham? Of course we're bigger than Fulham. Yeah. But is he going to leave a cushy job in a really nice part of London?
Do you think we've got a better squad than Bournemouth?
Yeah, this season, yeah.
Right. He is the person I want, personally. I think he is a step up.
Yep.
I don't think we'll get him. I think if we could try and poach, and there's a few on here, just going to say we could forget about whether they'll come or not. There's a few on here that I'm just going to throw at you that probably will never be able to poach. But try and forget about that.
My point around Iraola is he's not going to risk it going wrong at Forest and damage his glowing reputation, because from what he's done at Bournemouth, can't for the life of me right now remember where he was before in Spain.
I think he was fighting Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3, wasn't he? Or Spider-Man 2. He looks like Doctor.
Old Alfred Molina. He was at Rayo Vallecano. He did very well there. So I don't know. I just feel like if he comes to us and it goes wrong because he falls out Mr. M, big boss, the Donna Piraeus, the Greek Shug Knight, he's pissed away a lot of reputation there for.
I dare say that the Marinakis reputation could damage us because a few people may use that as a factor as to why they might not come.
So I don't disagree with that, but also, what do you get with Marinakis? You get backed.
Correct. And also, like, Nuno has been backed, and he's actively done it himself, and it's not because it's at fault. So, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Next, anyway.
But you're giggling at
Steve Cooper.
Story. Obviously, I wouldn't have him back now. We've evolved past that point. I would love to see him go somewhere and be successful again. I still think he was a huge factor and the main catalyst in what's become an absolute dream of Nottingham Forest right now.
Interesting.
Holds a very very dear place in my heart, that man does.
Next, Pochettino.
Yeah, would love it. I think we could poach him from the USA job. I probably wonder how much money he's on. But yeah, I think we could poach him from the USA job. I think this would interest him, get his teeth back into a very, very... I don't know, I feel like Tottenham are in a... Obviously, I think Tottenham had more ambition at the time, but I feel like this is very similar to where Tottenham were when he took over them.
Yeah, I think this would be a really interesting project for Pochettino. I don't think we can poach him from the USA job, given it's a World Cup year and the USA are the host nation.
Maybe next summer after the World Cup. Absolutely. He's never going to win it, is he? So I don't understand why a good manager would ever want to do a national team job like that. It feels completely and utterly pointless to me.
Yeah, I think he's better suited to the... Tuchel's suited to the... I think if Man United came in for him tomorrow, he'd probably take that. Like, he's suited to the ins and outs of club management, and I think so is Poch, and I think this team is so suited to a manager like Poch that I'd love to see it, but I just can't. Now, this one might rattle a few. Hopefully they're not watching, but Oliver Glasner, go.
Yeah, of course take him. Yeah, great manager. Doing really, really well at Palace. I don't think we'll be able to prize him out of there. Oh, well, actually, if Mark Gahey had done today, we might have been able to. Great manager, and I think he's gone to even bigger and better things.
Yeah, completely agree. I think if Uncle Mark had gone, I think it would have been our best chance to prize him away. But it's a sliding doors moment. We had the choice of Nuno and Glasner. I really wanted Glasner. My choice was Glasner over Nuno. Would we have got where we are? Who knows? If we had chosen Glasner, I think Glasner wanted too much of a say in transfers for the Marinakis' liking, so they binned him off. I went for Nuno. It worked out well because look where we are. But looking at what Glasner has achieved, Palace have been unbeaten in a lot of games and won an FA Cup and won the Community Shield and are in his image looking great. And that's with ownership that I don't think have really done him much favours, given that Eze's gone and Mark Gay was supposed to have gone. So I think he's a little bit not in favour with his owners in that they've not backed him, and I think Marinakis would have backed him. So I really wish we had him, but also Nuno's done what he's done with us, so can't really say that. So now obviously they're the main ones that have been linked. From now on, it gets a bit more rogue.
Go on.
So interested to hear your thoughts. These are just people that are available as free agents. Gary O'Neill.
No. I think he needs to go to a championship level club. I think he initially did really well at Wolves, but we're beyond that point now.
Okay, next, Rafa Benitez.
It's similar story to Jose. It's the game. Leave the football before the football leaves you.
Yeah, very worrying times when we got linked to him. There was a period of time. Was it Post Cooper where Rafa Benitez got linked as
might
the potential. Yeah, and I think it was maybe a little bit of an acid test for the Forest fans. How do they feel about it? And I could tell you, none of us want it. Next, Brendan Rodgers.
Part of me would take Brendan Rodgers, but part of me thinks he's a lunatic. Gun to my head, no, not right now. No. I did look at what he did at Leicester. That was incredible. But
that was put in as a joke. Part of you would take Rodgers.
He's got mate. What did he do? I'd take an FA Cup. Come and almost get Champions League qualification 3 seasons in a row and an FA Cup.
Okay.
It was nothing. Them getting relegated was nothing to do with him.
Well, that's true, but you look what he's done with Celtic. Pathetic.
What won everything?
Oh, I could win everything by myself in that bloody league. Look at. Anyway, Danny Roll.
Not against it. I feel like we're maybe 2 steps above where he is, if that makes sense. Very similar to. Great manager. I did wonderful things at Sheffield Wednesday. He's got a really bright future, but I think we're maybe something a bit quicker than Danny Roll.
Yeah, please you said that because I have a Sheffield Wednesday supporting fan, and I messaged him earlier saying I think we're 2 jobs away for Danny Roll. So, great minds think alike, Jacob. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Now, this is someone that's been spotted a few times in Nottingham because of his previous appointment.
Nope.
Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh, I thought it was Sean Dyche. No. No. Just terrible, isn't it?
Is that all you got to say, or?
Oh, well, just a big old fat no.
Okay. I think I might know where this one's going to go. Sean Dyche.
Nah. Do you know what? Actually, I think he did really, really well. What he did at Burnley is really commendable. I think he set that club up for a long, long time.
Can I just say the purpose of a lot of this as well is to show you who actually is available and how bad it could be.
Yeah. How bad it could be. Keep making it better.
Just saying, because I'm still NUNO in after all of this.
Do I think that Sean Dyche, that's somewhere like Man United, could do with someone like Sean Dyche to just really reset them back to basics and give them the boost that they. I don't know. It's such an odd place at the minute, isn't it? I'm saying that Sean Dyche isn't good enough for us, but could be good enough for Man United.
Yeah, don't make much sense, but it also does make sense.
United need a very, very, very hard reset. I still think Amorim's a good coach. I just think there's too
Amorim's a good coach. I mean, Ten Hag I think is a good coach.
He got sacked as well today.
But also, I think that's because of his reputation at United. I think clubs are going to panic and think he's going to do the same thing to us. I think United are that damaged that they're making good managers look terrible. Look at David Moyes. David Moyes apparently was one of the worst managers ever after he failed at United, and he made West Ham look unbelievable. And once he'd gone, pathetic. And then as soon as he's gone into Everton, he's made them look like world beaters again.
Yeah.
United are a horrible club. Right, next. Gareth Southgate, go.
I don't think there's anyone less suited to club management than Big Gaz. I'm actually sympathetic to all the hatred he gets because when he was England manager, he's the most successful England manager I've ever seen. So fair play to that, but I don't think he's suited to club management at all.
Interestingly, linked to Man United. So that would have been very interesting. I think if he did do it, they'd be even worse than they are now.
But it's
maybe you would have brought a feel good factor to the players. You know,
it's like the hard reset.
Did with England.
Because he did give England the hard reset, didn't he?
Ten Hag.
Ooh. No.
Yeah,
wow.
I think you said all you need to say about him. Right, 2 left. These are wild cards.
Wilds, okay. Go on.
One is available. The other's available. But both of them are never going to happen in a million years. But interested to hear your thoughts. Xavi, go.
I don't think I'd openly go for him, but if we turn around and we got him, I wouldn't be disappointed. He's only, I'm all right thinking he only did the 1 season at Barcelona?
Unsure.
I don't think his managerial experience is that varied and wide, and I think managing Barcelona for 1 season is different to managing a club that's got lots of things going on.
Right, your last one, Jacob. Your very last one.
Go on.
Billy Davies.
Oh, yes. I'd like a round peg in a round hole. Clearly, William McIntosh Davies is a lunatic, hence why he's never been given another job. But would I like to see some more unfinished business under Evangelos Marinakis? Yeah, you're absolutely right, I would.
And off the back of that, Jacob, I just wanted to show you these 2 graphics that I'd made for you.
Okay, go on.
Pre-made slide to say that I bet he said round pegs and round holes, Natalie. And pre-made slide to say I bet he said William McIntosh Davis. So that shows just how much I know you.
I thought you were going to do me a nice chat GPT of Marinakis and Billy Davies hugging.
I knew you too well. As soon as I said Billy Davis's names, that's what you
Rent it, mate. Cash money.
Rent it. Well, I guess that brings us to a close. I think before I leave, I'm going to put you on the spot and say right now, Nuno in, Nuno out. What are you saying?
I'm Nuno in. I think he's boxed himself into a corner, and I'm very surprised that Mr. Evans backed down. I'm probably more surprised by the fact that he hasn't been sacked than the fact that he said it now at this point. But I'm still Nuno in. Still think he's got more to give. I still think we owe him more after that season. But yeah.
Right.
I think it's inevitable. I think it's a waste of time you saying it. What's that?
Welcome to Nottingham Forest, Alexander Zinchenko.
Ooh, baby boy.
Been confirmed whilst we're on air. That's crazy. Just to say before we go, I agree. I'm Nuno in, and you're completely right. He has boxed himself into a corner, which he didn't need to do. He had all the credit in the bank. He's robbed the bank, gotten away with it, and then took himself to the police, it feels like. It just doesn't make any sense at all. I would still keep him. I do hope that he can have these conversations that he needs to have with Marinakis and sort it out. But either way, I think the main thing is, whatever is the outcome, it needs to be solidified and confirmed now.
Yeah.
Don't let it stew. Don't let it carry on any longer. Or we're just going to have a repeat in January when it's fallen out of Edu because of transfers again. I don't know. It just needs to be sorted right now because there's so much good going on in the club. We are self-sabotaging by allowing this to go on any longer than it needs to, is my opinion.
Yeah.
So, take us home, Jacob. Take us home.
Well, there should be another podcast between now and after the international break, which is the Arsenal game, which is 12:30 on the Saturday. JJ, is that correct? Saturday the 12th?
That's correct.
Correctamundo. So there should be another one. But if there's not, JJ, give me a score prediction really quickly.
2-0 Arsenal.
3-2 Forest.
Fuck.
If you found it for the first time.
Wow, that's really deep in my ears.
Sorry. If you found us for the first time, God bless you. You've come back again and again and again and again and again and again and again. God knows we love you. Yes.